Oh, hey, how's it going, everyone? I forgot my fucking intro. Oh, here we go.
Sorry, I farted.
Hello, everyone. How you guys doing today, wherever you are from in this beautiful and gorgeous world? All right, so welcome to another Beer and Cheese Tuesday. I want to welcome my panel member, Bumpy Isms. I almost said your old channel.
Cheers.
That's
fun.
And let me turn on names too, by the way. Shit. Not that nobody knows your name, but all right, there we go. So yeah, we're gonna cheers, Sparkle. Cheers to the community. When you start popping in, if you do, and cheers to Art by Sparkle. Cheers, Lori. All right, so we're gonna go. Anyone's invited, so if you guys want to show up, anyone wants to have cheese and beer, just let me know, and I can get you the link somehow or some way. All right, so we're gonna bring up Bumpy and see what he's got. All right. Cheers,
Get a
man.
couple slices going here. Okay, just make it look pretty. All right, so cheese I'm going to be bringing is Tipperary. I did a Tipperary cheese before. This one's a little bit different. This one is the Irish Castle cheese, smooth and mild. It's imported from Ireland, 100% all natural cheese, milk from grass-fed cows. It's $4.99. Cutting it, it's kind of a soft cheese. It's got a little bit of a yellowish kind of hint to it, but it's a white cheddar.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cutting pretty smooth, and it seems to be a little spongy soft to the touch. The beer I decided to pair with this one. This comes from J.W. Lee's. It's a product of the United Kingdom. This is a limited edition that will show up. This is their Harvest. It's an ale matured in Calvados casks. This was brewed in 2013. It comes in at 11.5% ABV. So basically, it's a barley wine.
Okay. Yep.
Jesus, if I could read that, that's so tough. This fully fermented ale can be enjoyed now or laid down like a fine wine for enjoyment to come. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and crack this open now. It's a tiny little bottle because I'm blurry now. Hardly any hits when I crack that. And, oh, yeah. Definitely smells like a barley wine. And
Hey, Lori.
that, did not build a head at all. There you go.
Oh, well, yeah.
All right.
Crazy. All right, man. Well, cool. Thank you, Bumpy. Yes, all right, so let's go ahead and we got Lori in the house now. We got Art by Sparkle. Let's bring her up. Yeah.
My computer's been doing crazy crap stuff. Okay, so I have hi everybody. I have Murray's rosemary and olive oil Asiago. And you can see all the rosemary on there. And I'm sorry I haven't opened it yet. I can open this. And
I have that cheese in my fridge too.
I'm doing the Heineken Silver tonight. because I wanted something that wasn't going to overpower this cheese because I hadn't had this cheese before. So I thought I would just go ahead and grab this one. All right. That's the Heineken Silver. And there's the ABV. Hold on. It's probably, yeah, it's just a 4.0 ABV. Lightweight tonight.
Oh, lighter one. Okay. Awesome. I've never seen that before.
I hadn't either. Beautiful color.
Yeah.
Nice little head, which I'm pretty sure will disappear pretty fast. So I'll cut the cheese, have it on my plate, and show it off when it's my turn again.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to myself. All right. So we got I've done this beer cheese before. But it's been a while, and it was in my fridge. So I think I think my wife bought it or something. She might be mad if I eat it, but oh well. It's the Whiny Goat. It's a mild and creamy, semi-soft goat cheese bathed in red wine.
Ooh.
Whiny Goat, and it looks like this. So that's it's hard to see, but it's super. It's like really purple. Yeah, there you go. The rind, and it's like a real nice white goat cheese, kind of semi-soft, like they said. Smells like goat cheese. And then this, maybe I should have put this in a different glass. I'm gonna go here because this is a pilsner. So it's a fresh hop with Strata. It's a tropical pilsner from Steeplejack out of Portland, Oregon. It's a 6.4%. For some reason, I thought I shouldn't have said the ABV. I thought we were doing that game for something. I don't know why.
I know. I almost did the same thing.
Drink responsibly. Please recycle. Yeah, Steeplejack. I really want to go to their brewery, like really bad, actually. Like a lot of their stuff's been pretty good. I'm not going to say what the notes are. I shouldn't have looked at that, but it's straight up fresh hop Strata. Oh no, it's not. So their hops are Crosby, Fresh Hop Strata, Citra, and HBC 586. With malt Prairie Select, and yeast is Chill Tropics. I don't know if I showed that, but there's the can. Never had a tropical pilsner before.
Oh, wow.
And I think it says 9 of last year. So if anything, the hops are gone, but I don't think the beer would be ruined. I hope not. Go ahead and open it up. Whoa, that is really foamy. That like bursted out of there. Oh, I put it in the wrong glass. Shit. All right. It's really, really heavy. Oh my God. It's been in that can a while. So it's really hazy, a very hazy pilsner, very fat, 3-finger, 4-finger head. Some ran out of the top. It doesn't smell bad, so we'll find out, but hopefully that'll work. All right. So let's get back to Bumpy and do the full review. Cheers. Where are we? My mind's not here right now. Sorry.
Am I still blurry?
Little. Pinch.
Okay, well, the cheese smells like definitely has like a milky smell. A little bit sweet, like a sweet kind of milky butter. Very mild aromas. It's a flexy, bendy cheese. Very creamy, chewy cheese. Yeah, it's creamy, milky, buttery, slight salinity. Very, very mild cheddar. No real bite to it at all. Kind of, it's almost closer to provolone.
Wow.
Well, it's a easy to eat cheese. The beer here, this Harvest, smells of molasses and grapes. It's kind of pruny a little bit. Yeah, it smells like it's going to be syrupy.
Mm.
And it was aged in, I don't know what Calvados casks are, but I mean, I'm not like picking up on like a wooded type aroma or anything like that, but it's very, like I said, it smells like it's going to be syrupy. It smells kind of sweet with the molasses and the grape and prune type notes. So, cheers.
Nice. Cheers.
Yep. It's a full body, like hardly any carbonation. It's pretty sweet. Molasses, prunes, raisins, grape. There is a little bit of kind of an oaky type note or some type of a wood. All right. At 11.5% ABV. I mean, it's not warming or anything like that, but this is from 2013, I guess. So that's what it says that it was brewed in. Yeah, let's see how this pairs with the very mild cheese. I think it's going to overpower it quite a bit. We'll go cheese first.
Nice.
Cheesers.
Cheese.
Cheesers.
Mm. Yeah, there's like you just kind of get left with a little bit of a butteriness mixing with the all the characters of the beer. It does seem to actually give it a slightly odd flavor. It leads into the finish. It's kind of like a bitter wood type note. So I wasn't picking up like on a perceived like bitterness really from this beer. Actually, now I'm starting to get some heat, starting to get some warming in the chest at this point now. So yeah, this thing's like just building on. It's only a 9.3 fluid ounce bottle. I said it was a small bottle. It is a small bottle, but I think I'm kind of happy because it's yeah. If this was like a 12-ounce bottle, it would just be that much harder to finish because it's pretty thick. All right, let's drink and then eat. Cheese. Cheesers.
All right.
Cheesers.
Cheesers. Beers and all that stuff.
Really left a lot of kind of that prune and grape note from the beer, throwing the cheese in, and that's just lingering on. Sweet, creamy butteriness. Yeah. This is one of those odd occasions where it's actually better to eat the cheese after drinking the beer. But nothing's really, I mean, I'm just kind of left with some of the notes of the beer, and then the cheese is just doing its thing with just the lingering notes still there because it's a pretty strong flavored beer. So
Right.
it's not really enhancing much of anything, but it's all right.
Nice. All right, dude. Thank you. Cheers, man.
I'll try to
All
get
right.
my camera to come back to life.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go. Sparkle next. Yo.
All right. So here is my cheese. And you can see the rosemary on the ends. Boy, when I opened this up, I could smell it right away. I mean, a good smell, but very cheesy. And I think the Italians make really good cheese, actually. So this is a Nasiago. And wow, extremely creamy. I can smell that milk in there. I'm getting the rosemary and olive oil or olives. Very, very faint. Actually, it'd be really good with olives. Nice. Smells strong, so it may very well overtake the beer, but we'll see.
Nice. Cheers.
Jesus.
Mm. That's delightful. It did crumble a little when I was cutting it. So I took it just out of the fridge. That rosemary, it's very subtle all the way through the cheese. And it has quite a nice sweetness. And I know that rosemary as an aftertaste does give off a nice sweet flavor. Not overpowering and not super sharp. It's kind of on the high end or low end of sharp. Not at all objectionable. It goes down easy. It doesn't stick to the tongue where I'm thinking I have to scrape it. It's a really delightful cheese. So let's see where we are with the beer.
Nice.
Now this is I just noticed, very low calorie beer. It's got like 95 calories, so I don't expect it to be very heavy. I'm smelling apple in there, which is strange. Definitely apple. Maybe a slight citrusy, maybe like lime. Smells sweet. Well, here we are.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a brilliant clarity on that sucker.
Very crisp. The carbonation dies down about mid-tongue. The aftertaste is a sweetness, and I do taste a little apple. And I taste some like the pith of a lime, not strong, but enough to give it that pithy flavor, not a sour flavor. It's quite refreshing, actually. And compared to the Heineken that I had last week, this almost seems, even though I don't know what the calorie count was on last week's, but This actually feels like it's not quite as light as last week's. Very low ABV, which, you can do this as a refresher, a nice refreshment on a hot day. And I don't think you'd feel too overpowering. You can see those little bubbles still kind of surfacing up there. Mm. I like it. I like it. Slight bitterness, but not bad. And I'm not big on bitterness. So I can tolerate this with a slight bitterness, doing good. Okay, let's do. Might as well do the beer before cheese.
Beer before cheese, a beer's check.
Wow. The cheese is definitely forward. There might have been a slight blending. In the beginning, I could taste a little of the beer, but that kind of died down. But I like the way this sweetness adds to the not so sweetness of the beer, even though the beer did leave a little sweetness mid tongue. But definitely the cheese is standing out. So do the cheese before the beer.
All right, 2 beers.
Love that rosemary.
Yeah.
That calmed the cheese down quite a bit. It balanced out the two. So I would say that the beer after the cheese definitely gives it a, mellows things out a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean the cheese is still forward, but it's a little less forward than doing the beer and then the cheese. Not a bad combo. It's doable, workable. So there you have it.
All right, cool. That's one I need to try now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thanks, Lori. Mm-hmm. Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a burp. All right. So I'm going to do this one from Steeplejack Brewing Company. Tropical Pilsner with fresh strata hops. It is definitely a hazy Pilsner.
Ooh.
No clarity. Looks like a Westy Hazy. Something like that. It's sticking. It looks like clouds stuck on the side of the glass, or like snot, or like maybe the world map as the world turns. Now let's look at the what's the carbonation. It's so hard to see. It's like really hazy. There's a little bit of head retention there is okay, I guess. It's not really carbonated though. I have this feeling like this is really old.
Uh-oh.
But that's all right. Let's smell it, noser it up. I get a little bit of honey, which is not a good sign. I get that broke down hop thing. I know it's not an IPA, but it's definitely a hoppy Pilsner. And I think they might have, they probably dry hopped it. I'm assuming. Maybe a Whirlpool. I get kind of a vegetal green pepper. Maybe there might be a slight like little hint or touch of a berry, from the strata as it puts out strawberry, but there's also Citra. And I'm getting kind of like a bell pepper, kind of lemon or orange.
Ooh, that's
There is it sounds good and it smells good. It's not terrible. It doesn't smell terrible. It's I'm getting a little bit of, it's not like crackery or anything like that, like from Pilsner or whatever, Pilsner malts, but it's it does have kind of a breadiness to it. It smells somewhat balanced. All right, enough of that. Let's drink it. Cheers.
okay. Cheers.
Oh God, that's weird. Yeah, that green pepper.
When
It
you
smells like
said
a bell,
that, I went, "Oh my!"
yeah, like a bell pepper. Um, but I kind of like it. It's like a bell pepper garlic, um, with hints of like candy berry, like a slight berry thing come through.
Wow.
Some lemon, maybe a little bit of nectarine, possibly. Oh, lemon, orange. It is tasting a little old. I am getting that oxidation kind of like weirdness. It's definitely not fresh, but it still has a lot of flavor in there, which is it's still not bad. As far as the body and mouthfeel and finish, body, I'd say is a light, definitely a light beer. I mean, it tastes like it says it is. What did I say? It was 4.7 or something. Oh no, this is a 6.4. What? I swear this tastes like it tastes like a 4.7 or something. The mouthfeel is soft, slightly spritzy, but more soft than anything. It does have a bitterness in the finish. I am getting a nice dry, bitter finish. The bell pepper and like any of the other things I was mentioning, like garlic and all the other fruit flavors, is more in the center of the mouth, up on the palate, and then kind of like drifts off and goes into the finish. I am getting kind of a stale taste too. It tastes kind of stale, or I wouldn't say cardboard, but it does have an oxidized kind of flavor to it. Um, but it's not like totally terrible. I think another few months this would be a really terrible beer. I mean, because it's what, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 months old, probably in the can right now. All right, let's see if the cheese will make it better. God, that's weird. So this is semi-soft goat cheese with dipped in wine, red wine.
Show you a few things later.
Goat cheese and red wine. Okay, so you can see it breaks and snaps. It's got that kind of a purple red wine dipping or whatever, however they did it. When they aged it, or they aged it and probably just I don't know how they did it, but it's purple like white red wine. It looks more purple though. Like, oh, yeah, red wine's purple, isn't it? It's not red, is it? Or
What's that?
red
Yeah,
wine is it?
it was same thing's kind of purple. Yeah.
It
Oh,
depends.
okay.
It depends on what stage of the grape and what grapes used.
Oh, okay. All right.
You have black grapes, purple grapes, red grapes.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like, I don't really get a whole lot of like red wine, maybe more or less mixed in with the cheese. You're getting that goat cheesy kind of thing. It's more of the hard cheese. It's not, it's obviously a harder one. It's not the tube, but it still does give that like slight funkiness from the goat cheese itself, but kind of a barnyardy, grassy, or untainted cheese. It's straight out of the goat. But let's go ahead and eat it. Enough talking. I don't know if I should eat the rind or not. Let's eat it.
I think you've done that before, Beer Man.
That was gross. That was gross.
I think you've done that before.
I think I have, yeah. It's a good goat cheese. It's almost got a cheddar consistency or like thickness. It's kind of dry. I think this has been in our fridge a long time. but there was no mold on it. So, hell, let's eat it. It does have like a kind of a pastiness once you chew it down. It pastes up into the mouth and then poof and dries away. It doesn't really stick around. It's very light. It's not very salty. More creamier, goat cheesy kind of flavor. It tastes good though. Something to go with a lighter beer too. I don't know about this one, but something else. I like this. Let's do cheese before beer. Some beers.
The Babers.
I didn't get any red wine taste, so not really. Maybe a little
It's hard
tangy.
hard to disguise goat cheese.
Yeah, it is, right? I know. It is kind of tangy, like a tangy tart, but that's the goat cheese. A kind of a citrusy thing going on in it. But nothing Vinny. All right, let's do this beer now. Oh, God. It's hard to mash in your mouth. Oh, that's not bad. That actually helped the beer out a little bit. That little slight funk and then the creaminess, it really sticks in the back of your mouth and with the bitter of the beer. And then the flavors of the beer kind of intertwine with the cheese flavors. And it seems to balance out very well. It goes together pretty good. Weirdly enough, there's a bit of a mineral flavor too to the beer that's kind of working with the goat cheese and the citrus and like the sourness of the cheese itself. Kind of like a sour kind of cheese, footy sour, yeah. But it goes really well actually. It's not bad. Let me have another little run at it. If I can chew fast enough with my 3 teeth. All right. Yeah, that bell pepper kind of goes away a little bit. It's still there, but it fades. And that cheese, the cheese funkiness kind of sifts through it. And it's kind of nice. It's a pretty good mix, actually. Let's do a beer for cheese.
Cheesers.
Cheesers.
If I can chew it fast enough before the beer taste goes out of my mouth. That works that way too. Because the cheese absorbs the beer and it kind of keeps the beer around a little bit within it. I don't know. It really works well. That is, I'm not really being descriptive here, but it really works well. I like that a lot. I'm gonna have to try a fresher, less hoppy Pilsner, just a regular Pilsner with that same cheese and see how well that does. But
Beer man, I have a question.
Yeah.
And this is related to, you thought the beer might be old. Well, didn't you say you kind of wondered if maybe it was getting toward the older than its prime?
Yeah, I mean, cheese can age anyway, obviously, but I mean,
I'm talking about the beer.
Oh, the beer?
Yeah.
So wait, explain that again.
Okay. I'll just ask my question. If you had, because I thought you had said you wondered if the beer might be getting a little old. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was like 7 months ago or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
If you had the same beer, one was in a bottle, one was in a can, and they were brewed at the same time and all that.
Yeah.
Would they taste the same in terms of if they were starting to taste a little old?
I mean, there would obviously the cheese would probably taste the same, I would imagine, unless it has like mold on it.
But
The
beer in a
itself-
bottle and beer in a can, do they age the same
Oh,
way?
beer in a bottle, beer in a can. I didn't even. Okay. I would say the bottle would last less. It wouldn't last as long.
Okay.
I would say the can would last unless the seam was broken or something. But no
Okay.
lights get through that can.
Okay.
I mean, that's just my guess.
I was
Bumpy might
just
have a different
curious.
answer. Other people might have a different answer, but
No, I'd be
Okay.
kind of the same answer. Bottles, the caps and stuff eventually will start to allow oxygen and stuff in as well.
Okay.
They don't hold as good of a seal, and also they're penetrable by light and stuff. So typically,
Right. Oh, that's right.
stuff in a bottle will
the brown bottles.
not
Yeah.
last.
Forgot about that.
as
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get on with this. A good pairing though, for sure. I'll have my last thoughts. Let's go ahead and get last thoughts from starting with Bumpy. Bring him back up here.
Man, I'm still blurry.
Oh shit.
It's just a blurry night. All right. Talk about the cheese first, I guess. It's not a bad cheese. I mentioned before, like when I have a cheddar cheese, I like to have a little bit of bite to it, This is a very mild cheddar. Being an Irish cheddar, I thought it was gonna have more flavors going for it. But I do get kind of like a slight kind of peppery, almost like a white pepper or black pepper or something. It's kind of on the back of the palate, and it's coming from the cheese. But it comes like it shows up long after I've already chewed the cheese and swallowed the cheese. But yeah, I'd say I think that this cheese is good. It's not one that I'd return to, just because it's not as sharp. Doesn't have as much flavors and stuff going for it as I would like. I also like more like when the cheddar's a bit got a little more stiffness to it. If it's sometimes like those little crystals or whatever, that's when it's really getting there for me. In the beer, this is. It's a bit on the sweet end. I mean, it's got some decent flavor notes going for it. It is a stronger beer. I don't know. I'd kind of just land it just creeping into the very good range. I think I've had this beer or one similar to it maybe last year or a couple of years ago. They're all vintage stuff, but yeah, it's very good, but not quite as enjoyable as some barley wines that I've had that have a little bit more carbonation for one, and probably just not as cloyingly sweet. So, and the combination, I mean, the cheese after the beer seemed to work pretty well. The other way around, it just made things a little bit funky. So it somewhat worked with the beer and the cheese. Definitely, I think there's better pairings out there.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Nice, dude. Cheers. That's a strong beer, dude. That's a big beer. All right. Cool, man. Thanks, Bumpy. Let's get Sparkle.
All
Okay.
right. I do like that cheese a lot. For me, if it was on an appetizer tray, I can't think offhand what cracker would go well with it, because you wouldn't want an herbal cracker. You wouldn't want something like a Townhouse or a Ritz, because that's sweet. Those are sweet. I could see it melted on a little Italian bread. and or even maybe pumpernickel. It's a delightful cheese just on its own, and I think that the rosemary and the olive oil really kicked it up a notch. It really gave it something a little bit more substantive than just straight Asiago cheese. As far as the beer goes, I have no problems with it. It seems very light, definitely a refreshment. So, you could drink several of these and not be, climbing the fence. And, it's has a little sweetness, part way through the mouth. The bitterness is or I should say it's not really bitter, but kind of that pithiness does go away and leaves you with sort of a rounded taste of um, just a refreshing beer. So it is light enough. I think I'd be okay with putting them together, um, as long as the cheese was before the beer. I think it was a better way to go because that beer just kind of balanced things out a little bit, and that was great. So yeah, I think it worked. If I had to rate the beer, on if I put it in a category of easy drinkable, I'd clearly give it a 90.
Nice.
Not throwing it in the same category as, your stouts and things like that. So in that one category of easy drinking, refreshing, I would give it that. The cheese, no question. That's a good 95 as far as I'm concerned. It's really a delightful cheese.
Awesome.
There you have
All
it.
right. Cool. Sounded like it worked great. All
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Thanks.
I think it'd also be good on a Reuben made with prosciutto. Just saying.
Oh, shit. Oh, fucking Rubens are great. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Sparkle. All right. Let me get myself up here. Um, the beer was a little old, but still gave me some flavor to go off of. Something that was still somewhat drinkable. It wasn't the greatest at the age it is. I wish it was younger, but like you were talking about, if it was a bottle, it probably would have been terrible. But it's not bad. I mean, I'm not trying to knock it. I did like the that garlicky kind of bell pepper thing with the berry kind of notion and the citrus and
Weird combo.
you see, yeah, I know. Strawberry, stone fruit, and dank. Yeah, I could see the stone fruit and the dank, and then that little hint of strawberry. Crosby fresh hops. That's Crosby Farms. Okay. Yeah, so I would give this like a good beer, maybe good. Maybe like an 80, 82, 85. Still drinkable, but not something I would, if it was fresher, I would probably score this a little higher. Let's put it that way. Um, the cheese itself is pretty good. It was definitely a goat cheese, it's just what it is. Very, very cream forward, creamy and like rich tasting, very like somewhat salty, citrusy. Um, had that funk, everything you would get out of a goat. You didn't get the wine so much. I didn't really get any kind of marinade from the red wine that I would have thought would have been in it. Maybe if it was marbled or something, I would have gotten more of it. Where it's just the rind on the outside, so I don't know how that marinades, in the process. But it wasn't super strong, but it wasn't a bad cheese. And I know it's been in there probably for like 7-8 months in our fridge and just not open, so it didn't have any oxygen. There was no mold. It's just, which is fine. It's still good. I would give it like a 90, maybe an 85 and 6, 87. I'll go 87 on the cheese. It wasn't the greatest that I've had. The pairing though was weirdly good. The cheese before beer was the best combination. It it just melded well. Like all the flavors kind of went together, and it paired really well. It's nice. I'm not gonna get like all detailed, but it paired well. And I would say, and then the cheese, beer before cheese, wasn't bad either. It kind of just still did the same thing. It kind of all just lumped together and had the same flavor both ways. So I would say the pairing was probably like a 90, 90 lower A, A.
Hey.
But that's what I'm giving it. So all right, I'm done. I can't fucking think today, man. I'm like tired or something. All right, let's go ahead and let's get our last thoughts or last thoughts. See, I can't think. Let's get our shout outs going, and we'll start out with Bumpy here. Let's bring him up.
Yeah. I don't know. For a channel, you can check out Kettleheads, barbecue and beer, and does a bunch of shorts, just very, very short videos showing what beer is drinking and what's on the grill. On my channel, I got my beer reviews, some frozen pizza reviews, and occasionally I'll also throw out a video of something I've cooked, whether it's inside or out on one of the grills I have. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. All right, let's get Sparkle up here. Thanks, Bumpy.
All right. Let's see. Somebody I haven't seen for a while because he was he ended up moving and everything like that, but he has come back on, and that's Grilling and Chilling with Mojo. He does some great stuff. And before he moved, I was on like every Saturday morning and felt like I was right there, in his garage with him as he was cooking up these breakfasts. And so anyway, I just want to point that out. And he's been doing some very interesting combinations of food. And that's Grilling and Chilling with Mojo. As far as my channel goes, I haven't put videos up with the resin that I am sort of tiptoeing into. I'm having a good time with it. And when I feel a little more confident, I may do a video, but I get so involved I forget to turn the camera on. But I'm really into the idea of making some different things, but also incorporating some of the art forms that I've been doing. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think it's going to create a different avenue for me. And sometimes you just got to try something different. So I guess look for a video on some resining. And as far as any lives go or premieres, not until later in May. The ones that I was in Saturday and on, I think it was Thursday, they went really well, and it was fun. Had a lot of laughs myself because of the way mine turned out. And, but it's all learning. So that's really why I stick with it.
Nice.
Guess that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Sparkle. All right. Cheers, Sammy. And Cheryl. Cheryl just popped in. Cool. So two people I'll shout out. I've shouted them out before as I Brew, You Brew with Garrett. I don't know if anyone has that link or if you're subscribed, but there you go. He's got his last thing, Essential Homebrew Tools for an Effortless Brew Day. This is his last video. And then we got I don't know who mentioned this guy before. Maybe it was Tanner. I'm not sure. Salsa and Brew. Not sure. But his last one was episode 11, Serpentine Cider. They talk about a cider. He goes on brew trips as well to all these breweries as well. So kind of like Squatchy Brew Dude. There's another another shout out. But there's this link there. All right. So as far as my channel goes, Beer Cheese Tuesday, like today, we got one more, and then we'll have an open one second week of May. But we got one more beer and cheese next week. And honestly, anyone besides us here is invited, as long as you have the components and want to hang out with us for an hour or so and review those and see if they work well together. Love to have more people up here on the panel. It's always a pleasure having these two guys here, guy and gal here. Excuse me.
All right.
But yeah, it's always a pleasure having you here, though. Then I'll spun out tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern. We actually last winner was Alex for last month, so he'll be getting a prize here soon. You get a prize at the end of the month. So if you hang out with us for the whole 4 weeks and you win, you guess the ABV of the beers that we bring, and you win, then I'll send you something. So that's going on. We spin a wheel in the end, and you get 3 adjectives. You get to go find a beer based on those adjectives, and you don't have to come back the next week. You can always hang on to it a little bit if you can't make it, but we'd love to have you come back or show up every week. But just bring a beer based on those adjectives, and there you go. But fun time. So I got a Schwartz beer lager, a black lager that I'm going to be entering into June 17th into the AHA, which is the American Homebrewers Association. They have their national brew contest, and it's got about another week or two, I think, before I'll can it. So it's just lagering at the moment. It's been going for about 3 weeks or so, maybe. I'd say give it about another 2 to 3 weeks, probably. But it's already pretty clear and good. There is a brew day. I did put a brew day up, video up for that one, a shorter one. Not my live brew. Oh, I didn't do a live brew day for that. I did the Kolsch last week on a live brew day. So if you want to check that 6.5 hour ass fucking long video, go for it. And that's right here, and it's doing well. It's done fermenting, so I just gotta let it rest a little bit. But I'll be brewing. Next one, I'll be doing a NEPA, another New England IPA. So hopefully I can get this right this time. Been really struggling with the NEPAs. It's like hit or miss. It just depends. So we'll figure it out. And the reason why is because they don't have there's not like a suggested balance. It's kind of, it's all based on the percentage of what you make, and you have to like pinpoint like just how many IBUs you want to put in it. So it's not too bitter or not too sweet. It's just a matter of figuring it out. So it's kind of it's a fun one though. It's a fun one. It takes a long time to finally cue it in though. But other than that, I got a Marathon as well. I'll be brewing in the future, and then a Northern England brown, like a Newcastle style. I'm gonna do one of those as well. Get some ales put in there because they're a lot faster. The lagers take forever. But other than that, no beer reviews or anything like that as of yet. But just with live shows like Eric's show tomorrow and Tanner's show on Monday. Does I can't think of his show's name for some reason. Taste that beer, like that beer, something that beer, rate that beer, rate that beer, rate that beer. Yeah. All right. Cool. That's enough. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to first the community. Thank you for being here. Cheers to you, and cheers to my panel here as well. Bumpyisms and Art by Sparkle. Cheers.
Cheers.
A lot of cheers. Just keep saying cheers. It's like this.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Let's say Prost instead. Okay. Well, we're gonna get out of here. I'm very hot in here right now. It's like super hot, like summer hot. I'm sweating. Okay. We're out of here. You guys have a good night, day, wherever you're from in this beautiful MFing world. But not after one more sip, please. You got it. I definitely love beer. Just not that one so much. All right. Cheers. Again.
Cheers, everybody.
Prost. Kampai. The wrong one.